Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in Long Beach today, joined by Dr. Felton Williams. He is a trustee with the Long Beach Unified School District. And sir, the district has decided to put a bond on the ballot in November.
Correct.
$1.3 billion bond.
Correct.
Tell us about its goals.
Well, we've got a number of issues with respect to facilities that are aged facilities,
Right.
very old. And a lot of those facilities lack air conditioning.
Really?
They do.
Wow.
And it's been
They're
one of-
really old.
Very old.
Right.
And so that's been one of the critical issues that we've been hearing about from parents, is especially this time of year. The school will start in a few weeks, and
Right, because school's starting earlier and earlier, it seems.
Earlier
I'm
and
not sure
earlier.
why. So August, September, October, those are hot
right,
months.
Right, very hot months. And the classroom conditions are deplorable, extremely deplorable. So we have to take notice of that.
I want to get a sense about the size of the bond. There's no doubt Long Beach Unified is a large district. 1.3 billion is a
Right.
pretty big number.
Right,
It's a
well-
big number.
Well, when you think about the age of the facilities, to put AC in, we have to bring all of the schools that will be equipped with AC.
Up to code?
We have to retrofit those
Right.
those facilities. So all the infrastructure has to be electrical and
Right.
otherwise has to be upgraded to accommodate AC.
What else? Are you looking to build any more schools, put in gyms, pools, computer labs, science labs?
Well, we'll upgrade our science labs and make sure that our schools meet the safety requirements
I
that
see.
need to be met in modern times. So there's a lot of work there that needs to be done. And basically, there was a survey conducted of every single school site to see what those schools needed. And in addition to the AC, we also talked about some other things, our athletic fields, some of our fire alarm systems, our phone systems, all of those pieces that add to the safety of our schools also has to be considered.
What about earthquake?
Earthquake as well as a safety standard. So all of those are factors that figure into this bond.
I want to talk about what Long Beach voters have faced on the ballot and will face on the ballot.
Right.
In June, Long Beach voters were asked to pass a bond for Long Beach Community College District, about $850 million. Also increased sales tax. The voters were generous and passed both. This November, in addition to the LBUSD bond on the ballot, the voters are going to be asked to extend Proposition 30, at least as it relates to the wealthiest among us.
Right.
They're going to be asked to tax cigarette and vaping. They're going to be asked to pass a school construction bond, $2 billion for state school construction. In LA County, where Long Beach sits, they're going to be asked to pass Measure R2, we'll call it, which is a transportation sales tax extension. There's a parks parcel tax on the ballot. A lot of revenue measures, sir, on the ballot in Long Beach
Absolutely.
in November.
Absolutely.
Is that of concern?
Well, we did our polling. In our polling across the city, in all of our various school
Right.
district precincts, was above 70%.
Wow, and you
So-
only need 55%.
Right.
Whereas other
Right.
bonds may need 66.66%.
And the other thing too, Brad, is the voters in this city have been very kind to K-12 over the years.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
That being said, the ballot is going to be incredibly crowded. 17 statewide
Absolutely.
measures. Oh, and there's also a presidential race,
Right.
a U.S. Senate race, state Senate, state Assembly. No city council race in Long Beach, right? I don't think so.
I think they're all taken care of.
Yeah, off cycle. Any LBUSD races?
No,
Okay.
I just got reelected.
Okay, congratulations. And so, what will you do? I know the district can't do anything on its own, but what can you do as a citizen to get the message out about this measure, to let voters know, don't forget to go to the bottom of your ballot
Right.
and hit the yes button?
Right. Well, we have a committee right now that basically is doing all that. We've hired a consultant.
I see.
That consultant will help us get the message out, our message. All the board members will be active in their particular districts.
Right. You are elected by district. You're not district-wide.
By district.
Got it.
So I cover council districts 6 and 7.
Right. Now, does Long Beach Unified include Long Beach and Signal Hill and other areas
Yes,
as well?
we have Long Beach, Signal Hill, Lakewood, and Avalon.
Oh, Catalina.
Catalina.
And so you have, Long Beach has it is 500,000 residents.
We're the 3rd largest school district in California.
Behind LA
and San Diego.
San Diego. So this is significant. That's why a $1.3 billion number,
Right.
while it seems large if you consider the number of students that you have. I want to ask about another element of the district, and that is an issue that's more prevalent in the largest urban districts, LA, USD, for example. It's a question of charter schools. Has the charter school movement, I guess what I can say is, taken off in Long Beach? Do we see a proliferation of charters in this region?
Brad, we've had requests from various organizations, and they have to be able to meet the conditions that are established by the state to become a charter. And a lot of the requests that we've received have not been able to do that.
Really?
So
has there been a lot of contention surrounding that? In other areas, we know, as a result of trigger laws or otherwise, there's been a lot of angst about failure to approve requests for charters. Have we seen that here in Long Beach?
we have one incident where that occurred out of all the incidents that I've been able to see over the years, and this one particular school that's in my district.
Oh, okay.
They did come to us and asked for us to reconsider granting an extension to their charter. Their success rate with the kids was deplorable.
It's interesting you mentioned that,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you did, because I think there has been a view perpetuated that charters are uniformly and universally better than traditional schools.
Well,
but what we know, based upon the studies, is there's great charters, there's bad charters.
Right.
There's great traditional, there's bad traditional. And so how do you address that?
Well, they have to be able to adhere to the same standards as a public school. If they don't adhere to those standards, and by statute, the governing school district has to make sure that that's occurring.
And they still have to govern them.
They have to govern them.
And what I've also learned is that while Long Beach is not severely impacted by the charter movement, for other school districts, many of their costs are fixed, regardless of whether there are charters or not. So as students are leaving to go to charters, they still have these expenses.
They
and
do.
It makes it hard for them.
And those school districts lose that revenue when the kids leave. But the other thing, as I had mentioned previously, is if you're running a good school district, you're not going to see a lot of charters.
So one could argue that LBUSD is running a good school district.
We have two charters.
Two charters. What age? Do you know what grades?
One is middle school, and the other one is elementary.
Got it. No charter high schools.
We had an application for a high school, but they weren't meeting the standards either.
What about magnets? Is that something that has become more of interest in Long Beach Unified? Magnets, of course, are specialized schools.
Well, not so much for us, because we have pathways in our school districts, and we have freedom of choice. So kids get if they can meet the standards that are set by those pathways, and if there's room in those schools.
And so if you live, let's say, in the Poly school district zone, can you apply to, would it be Roosevelt? Is that
Or you can apply to Lakewood or Wilson.
So you're not bound
you're not bound by
your
your boundaries. That's one of the good things about school choice.
And
we have that flexibility.
We'll talk more about it?
Sure.
His name is Dr. Felton Williams. He is a member of the Long Beach Unified School District. I'm Brad Pomerance, Charter Local Edition.